All right, so let's look at this after we've looked at the formulas. Okay, so remember, our top skill must be us being able to determine where the functions are. Okay, so here we know that obviously this whole thing, in short, we've got three functions here. So this one, okay, which we call y, then there's this one, and then there's that one. So these are three functions, okay, and so they must be dealt with in terms of differentiation in different ways. Okay, so if we look at this, the first one, we can use the power rule. If we look at the second one, the arc sign, we can use the inverse trig. Okay, and then if we look at the whole function here, which is the third one, which is our main method, we can say that this is a product, isn't it? These two functions are multiplying, giving us the third function. So this can use the product rule. Okay, so our main method is product rule, but it will have sub ways of getting the derivatives. So now that we've got this strategy, okay, we can begin. So we know we're going to use a product rule. So let's start here. So we're going to say that we have u, which is going to be x squared, and then we have v, which is equal to arc sine x, like that. As usual, we get our derivatives here. The derivative of this one, du over dx, is going to give us 2x. Okay. If you don't know how, please check the video on power rule. And then here we're going to have dv over dx, which is going to be, now remember, this we said that we don't need to know how to actually go through all the steps. We just need to remember what the derivative for this one is. And we said in our previous video that this one was a positive one because it does have CO here. Okay, so we know that it will be 1 on top, but every one of them has got 1, but some have got -1. So we know that this is going to be positive 1. And then we are going to say that we have a square root at the bottom, then 1 minus x squared. Okay, so those will be the derivatives, and we say that we almost have to think like we are cross multiplying these when we are either doing the quotient rule or the product rule. So here dy over dx is going to be, remember, this is a product rule, so it doesn't matter which one we start with. Okay, so we can even start with this one and say x squared. Okay, since we've multiplied with this, let me show the multiplication. Okay, 1 minus x squared, instead of just putting it directly. Then we're going to say plus, these two are going to multiply. Okay, doesn't matter which one we start with. This is going to be arc sine x. Okay, and then we're going to have 2x. Right, so this is going to be x squared over 1 minus x squared square root, square root here, then plus 2x arc sine x. You can actually leave it here, or you can go on and expand this. The only other thing we can do here is perhaps just to set it up in terms of the factors. Okay, so we can say that this is going to be the first factor, and then we have root 1 plus 1 minus x squared. Okay, then plus 2 arc sine x. Right, so that will be our derivative. You do not have to go any further than this. Okay, so this will be our derivative. You'll see after we know the limit definition, and then we know the rules. Okay, it's just a matter of you being able to break it apart and see what it's actually consisting of. Once you know that, the method is always going to be the same and straightforward. Okay, all the best.